What playlist is that?
I just typed in jazz, you know, on Spotify. Returning guest, you came back 2 days.
Wow, thank you.
Because we filmed 2 days.
But they don't know that.
They don't know that. They don't even know that.
Alright guys, welcome to another episode of Mind's Great.
I'm here with Sam.
We're here with Sam. Thank you. And I don't know, what we're talking about.
First, Sam, do you just want to tell them again what you do? Because you said it off camera, but...
Oh, okay. So, I've just finished an apprenticeship and now I'm studying within IT. Just doing infrastructure and being as a general engineer at an IT company. It's more or less all that it is. Mainly Windows, Microsoft Windows and Apple Mac OS.
As soon as people start saying IT, Windows, Apple Mac, and what roll my head just goes...
Yeah, because we were saying before as well, something about artificial intelligence and whatnot. You think that's... Here's what I think, yeah. Oh, you may think I'm crazy, but okay.
I like where this is going.
I think this is what's going to happen. They're going to create artificial intelligence, and then have you seen Terminator Judgment Day? Basically, it's going to be that. It's going to be the machines taking over, because they'll be so smart. We're going to be like ants compared to them, because they'll be self-learning. Self-engineering as well. I mean, I'm not saying it's doom and gloom, but
what hashtag
it's not the end of the world. Okay.
Remember that theory I had? I had a theory that us humans, we were actually the intelligence already, but something went wrong with our programming, so we started to think that we are humans and we're not robots, and all the royal families, they're the real humans. They're the ones who made us, and we're the slaves, like all them, or the elite and all that.
Jeez.
Could be a good movie, I guess.
That's like some Black Mirror.
Yeah, you know.
Black Mirror is the one. I love Black Mirror.
Yeah.
Black Mirror's one good one.
That's trippy though.
Jeez. Yeah, I love how because I think with Black Mirror, their focus is on how technology is gonna, the bad sides of technology. They had an episode on drones, on robot dogs and stuff.
Yeah.
They look scary.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
Damn.
And I'm pretty sure they developed, there's a video of I think it was the defense something, whatever. They've actually made one of those dogs, you know. I mean, it's not as dynamic and whatever. That's scary, man.
And they've made robots where, if you try to kick them over, they can get back up and that, and they can still be shooting at certain objects. Equipped them with a gun and that, and it's kind of scary. So
Just a little bit.
Yeah, a lot of people are going to lose their jobs. Let's just say that.
Oh, really? I don't know, with self-checkouts and robot improvements in factories and...
Have you not seen Amazon's new drone delivery?
Yeah, I heard about that.
That's quite bad as well.
But also kind of cool, wouldn't you just love it if a drone was just dropped you to home phone?
Yeah. I mean, it's not entirely when it comes to drones and atomic aviation. It's not so much that it is completely AI. As in, it's more there is a human element. So just as much as you lose jobs, there is an entirely new field, an entirely new industry that is being developed. So it's just sort of, I guess, progression in terms of moving on to the next stage.
Does that mean a lot more IT jobs and drone flyers or whatever?
I guess so.
Even though it will bring open more opportunities, it's definitely the new warfare. Because I think there was some conspiracy about TikTok being a Chinese company, and they're trying to influence the kids with advertisements through TikTok or something. I believe that's what could happen. Some secret Russian spies or Chinese can take over the drones, and then all of a sudden you get your package, and then you want a glass of Coca-Cola or something. I don't know.
I mean, cyber warfare is a big thing, really. It's been happening more and more, but it's been going on ever since the Cold War. Even if you look at applications like uTorrent, you guys at uTorrent.
Yeah.
So in their terms and conditions, in very small text, you actually agree to download a small executable on your computer that runs as a Bitcoin crypto miner on your machine if you think and you imagine how many downloads uTorrent has, that's an awful lot, really. So that's like a form of cyber warfare. So it's not essentially always autonomous. There's always the human element.
Well, someone needs to program it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not just like there are very few programs that are entirely self-aware. It's called machine learning. It's more of a program stage where it like allows a AI program to sort of learn from its mistakes. But there are very few public programs around that have that. I mean, Siri is a form of one. I mean, it learns your contacts, reads your text messages, it displays on your keyboard in terms of like your recommended texts, etc. But there are
That's freaking me out just like listening to you, bro.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
It's true. It's there.
Jeez.
I was listening to a podcast the other day actually, ironically, and it activated Siri on my actual phone. I was like, that's weird, and she didn't even say anything like. I won't say because my phone's in my pocket.
Is that from like voice recognition?
Yeah.
Yeah, voice recognition is another one. It's sort of self-learning. You can program these programs on like a daily basis to recognise all sorts of things. Like even to the point where like if it's a laser pointer, you can get a program to like detect the certain vibrations and what keynotes are being used, etc. So it is a very, very big field. It's only getting bigger.
Yeah.
It's fascinating though, isn't it? I do love technology, but it also does scare the shit out of me. I'm allowed to swear on this podcast.
Oh, you're allowed to swear.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's no filters really.
Yeah.
That's monetisation gone.
Yes.
Bleep me out.
IT is a big thing anyway. I mean, I've been doing it since I was like 14. I ended up getting involved in there was a pretty bad incident at school, and then I sort of just continued down that path and trying.
What, like in hacking the school system or something?
Yeah.
What's that guy? Edward Cumberbatch or something like that? The CIA hacker. Do you know what I'm on about the glasses?
What, the thick ones?
He's just, I think he just did a podcast with Joe Rogan, and he was in like
Edward Snowden.
Edward Snowden.
Snowden, yeah. Like an Edward Snowden here or something.
I'm nowhere. What? Nowhere near that. I did this completely by accident. Like it was.
It's like, let me change my school grades. I mean, shit, I would if I could.
That's crazy. What actually happened then?
Well, so back in the day, I think it was like year 10, year 11. I used to run like my own sort of gaming community, and one night we got taken down off the internet, because I would run a community, I ran a service. We got attacked, we got took down. So I was like, okay, fair enough, it happens every day. So I went through the server logs. And saw that it was like a ping from one IP address to my IP address, which obviously overloaded and crashed the server, which is a form of attack. It's called DDoS, denial of service. So
wait, is that why people have like, what is it, VPNs?
You can VPNs can avoid that, but then you can have other things like firewalls and firewall rules and such. I mean, Windows has its own built-in firewall, but this was just too much traffic and it just crashed the server. So I was really curious, went into school, wrote a script that did the exact same thing, clicked it a bunch of times. The school's AV or whatever, he shut it down. So I got bored, logged off, and he got stuck in a boot loop and took down the school network.
Oh, oopsie.
Oops.
Yeah.
I mean, I got I did get punished.
I think you'd be a Jew back in school if you did that. I'm okay. People start wearing go-forward masks.
This is the
Incognito. But no, like it was honestly a general mistake. And as soon as like I got sort of pulled out of class, I was like, oh shit. Like I knew exactly what I did. But no, it is dangerous, and you do need to be careful.
What about like black web, dark web, and all that kind of stuff? Have you lurked in them waters at all?
I
can't say.
No, like I try to keep away from anything that's like sort of malicious or anything that's like bad with intent. Like obviously this kind of stuff, it does go on, more so than you think. But you hear about it, but you just try and not get involved.
It's crazy, isn't the dark web like 90% of the internet?
Is it?
Or something
It's definitely a good fraction. It's more than 50. But in terms of actual statistics, I don't know. I mean, the way that it started was it was originally a form. Was it formed Cold War?
No idea.
America's network in terms for them to sort of communicate across country, and I think it just started off from that way really. But it is dangerous.
Yeah, but I'm never going on them things. I don't care how safe I think I am or how smart I think I am. I'm just staying away from it.
Because people buy all kinds of stuff on dark web.
Literally.
You can get guns.
People sell all kinds of stuff on there.
I used to work in leisure. I was a lifeguard many moons ago. Basically, I remember one closed up at one night, like 10:30, and we had the security guard that used to come in, and he was doing like a psychology and criminal something degree, and he was like telling me all these stories about like the dark web and the things that he'd been looking into, and like psychological profiling of these people who were using it to sell videos of just, I mean, heinous things like full on like murder, like torture and rape, and like
red rooms or something like that. People go in there and like they give money to do some things. It's mad, nuts, man. Jeez, it's crazy, isn't it?
messed up. Just take it to a new dark place. You want?
Yeah.
Don't worry about that. We'll go dark. Okay, a bit.
Oh my god.
That's my bad.
Yeah, that freaks me out, man. Yeah.
Well, I hope everyone's happy.
Yeah.
So what's good about the dark web, anybody? Like,
Well, you can hire assassins.
Imagine.
Yeah.
I don't know what's good about it. The anonymous anonymity.
This is where you push into like a new field there, where like people act with like malicious intent, where like they're we tend to call them sort of there's white hats, and then there's black hats, and then you have in between, which is like known as grey. So you've got white, who sort of, you know, they're people who work in the IT industry, and if they identify fault, then they tend to sort of report it. Grey hats do the same, but they do it for insight of like rewards. You know, they're mainly like penetration testers. I don't know if you've heard of those.
No.
And then there's black hats who do it with complete malicious intent. Like some people look at Anonymous as a black hat group, but I think it's just a matter of opinion really. But obviously, if you break a law, then you break a law. Yeah, it's crazy.
deep.
Well, learning some stuff today.
Yeah, I know.
It's all sinking in. I'm processing.
I think Stephen does similar stuff as well. We didn't tell us nothing about this.
Yeah.
What does Stephen say, like hacking shit now? He's like, oh damn, they know. They're on to us.
Yeah, we'll ask him next time.
It's well.
Alright, on a lighter note. Can men and women be friends? Just friends, no feelings, none of that movie stuff.
Is this on the dark web?
Yeah, this is on the dark web.
I mean, I'm gonna say yeah, but
I would probably say yeah. I mean, men and women can be friends, but it depends on the case, doesn't it? So I mean, if like I've got like girlfriends, you know, girls that I'm friends with, and there's no intention, and there's no tension either. But obviously, like I've had like friends in the past where I've literally been like sticky one.
Let's take one step further.
yeah. It's like a sticky one.
Yeah. He does his like real sly sort of comedy. Like it normally goes over people's heads.
Oh man.
It's a sticky one, you know. Rare.
Yeah,
These two said rare. You want to argue more? Why yes?
I mean,
Because I'm going to go for no. If you want to go for no, play devil's advocate. But let's just hear why.
Yeah.
why? Because like you said, it depends on like the situation, doesn't it? Because I mean, I've got male friends, I've got female friends, and platonic, like you know, it's just because they're of a gender that you might be attracted to, it doesn't mean that it doesn't mean that you want to sleep with them, doesn't mean that necessarily. Like, yeah, I don't know. I think, yeah, it's definitely possible to be platonic with whatever gender you're attracted to.
I think it depends as well. It's a cop-out answer, but whatever.
Right, I'll play
I think if the girl is attractive, there is no way a guy would just think, okay, we're just friends, nothing else. You know what I mean? Like, I think the guy would definitely try to slide his way in.
Slide his way
in, or you know, she may have a boyfriend and then he'll be like, oh, and then they break up and it's like, oh yeah, he wasn't good for you anyways. But they make them move.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
I mean, it can even change, can't it? I mean, feelings can obviously change over time, and then also you've got that other big spectrum of like the friend zone.
oh, the dreaded friend zone.
So I mean, that could just open a brand new can of worms here. But
Yeah, proper.
Jeez, how do you get out of the friend zone then? That'll be the next one. So you think men and women cannot be friends?
Yeah, I'm playing devil's advocate. I can't.
Why not?
Because, I don't know, they're going against their biology. I feel like a lot of women use men as friends for free validation and like orbiters to up their sexual market value, to make them seem like
that's a big
they're...
statement.
Because I think women think like this a lot more. If women see you with other women, that attracts them, that makes them think, oh, so he's wanted in it, and the forbidden fruit's the most sacred. So I think men think the same also. That's why women think, if I have loads of men around me, then loads of men are going to think I'm a woman of value and stuff like that.
Right.
And they can also get free gifts out of the man, free validation, like I said before, free dinner, all this sort of stuff. I don't believe, like, if you're within any human relations, some biology is going to kick in, some testosterone, some estrogen, and there's going to be something there from one side of the party eventually. Yeah. And because of humans' dark nature, they would take advantage of that.
Well, it doesn't have to be dark.
That's probably true.
Yeah, people will probably try to. I think, you know what it is, yeah? It's like,
and with age as well, it's very different.
Yeah.
It's a tough one.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's like, I think one reason why most girls do that is like, you know, they want backup to get, like, in case.
There's a term for it, it's called monkey branching.
Yeah.
So they'll have their ex, or they'll have these orbiters waiting around for them, so when they are done, they can easily just go latch to the next one.
Yeah.
Do you know, some of the things you guys have been saying tonight, have I been living underneath a rock or something? Like, what is going on?
I've never heard that term.
I think it's a niche language though, isn't it? Like, you'll find that in like evolutionary psychology and also like some dating groups, some movements, some like red pill movements, some all these new stuff that are popping up. But you know what I think? I think there's a double standard between like, you know, like if a guy is talking to multiple girls, yeah, but girls do the same thing. Like a lot of people will shame guys for talking to multiple girls, but girls do the same thing.
What, like calling him a fuckboy or a player
or something like that, yeah. But girls like are basically doing the same thing by having these orbiters or these guy friends, like a lot of them around them. It's kind of the same thing.
I don't know, and the art of seduction is really manipulation. So, and I feel like women could fall easily more into the art of manipulation because they've got them, you know, they got the Babylons, got the makeup on, got the filters, got the nice booty. could use their physical appearance to like get things, innit?
Yeah.
Because a lot of men just think with their dick, sadly, and put the pussy before their purpose.
Oh Christ!
Let's go to the shit.
Pray for me, Jesus Lord. Oh my God. That is a phrase I'm not going to forget.
Put it on a t-shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Merch.
Nice pussy. Or peps have a penis, whatever, sweet that.
Oh, dear God.
Yeah, works both ways.
I swear I've got more stuff to say about it, but I can't think right now. I can't think. But I don't know. I just feel like most men think with their dicks a little bit more than women, or it's the same, but women keep it more under covers and under wraps. They have more mystique about it.
I think it's that, because if they were more overt about it, like us guys are, that's when they start being called sluts.
Yeah, they can get shamed like that as well.
Slut shaming happens.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, it's on your mind.
Like, there's just so many thoughts that I've just had, and I'm like, they're all just.
Like, how to get out of the friend zone? Well, you said it depends on the situation.
Yeah. So I mean, like if you look at it from like a traditional standard, then I mean, sort of like, you know, the guy wants the girl doesn't want the guy for whatever reason. Like majority of cases, it's always time and effort that seems to sort of win the situation over. But then there are like double standards in it, where like girls can then use guys as leverage to get whatever they want.
Yeah.
And I think with women, I don't know if this is relevant, but I think women are a lot more, have a tendency more to date up than men do. So that's part of why, going back to it, that's part of why they have them
Friends on
people's around them.
Date up? What do you mean date up?
Like hypergamy, you know what that means?
Not really. Like,
So
as in social
I have no idea
stuff?
either.
Monetary? Or as in like physicality? Or like...
all those levels, yeah.
That's just natural biology though, isn't it? Like obviously you want to stride and get someone that's either better than yourself or even more so better than your ex or whoever there was before.
So you're saying it's on both sides, men and women do that?
Yeah, definitely.
Of course.
Definitely. I mean, it's just natural biology. And I think some girls, and I mean even guys as well in some cases, sort of play it off just to see how far that the other person is like sort of willing to go. Like maybe it's like a test for effort. I mean I've even done that in the past, where I've sort of just kept people on the ropes for just to see how it goes.
I think it's part of human nature as well. To sort of things. What was the question though? How to get out of the friend zone?
No, I don't know why you guys are talking about hypergamy.
Sorry, my bad.
Alright,
For me, I pull back. I'd straight away pull back. If I told her that I want a relationship or something, I want something more than a friendship, and she's like, no, then I'll pull back. I'm not a friend anymore.
Yeah, but is that like straight away, or is that after like 6 weeks or 6 months? Or?
so let's say you've been friends, I don't know, for a year,
Yeah,
right?
it's a long time.
I know, yeah.
And then what, we start feeling
you start
into it or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just got to be upfront, tell them it, and if they can't deal with it, you have to have the self-esteem enough to pull back and cut it off.
Because some guys will still stick around, like, you know, they try to make a move, and then she's like, no, we're better off as friends. And then they stick
I
around.
feel like they do more damage than good. They're ruining the chances of at all of it ever happening then.
Yeah.
Because you don't know what you got until it's gone. So if you take that away, maybe they have a bit of time to think about the situation a bit more. And when she comes back to you, she comes back to you. Abundance mindset, innit? Just move on, go to the next one. Or ideally work on your purpose, and then sort of things will just follow you.
Yeah, I think abundance mindset is definitely important, because it's like, I mean, I think you shouldn't even try to get out of the friend zone, because that's like, if you came in first as a friend and then you try to become a lover, it's weird. It's like you put on the friendship friends, just so
the
you
nice
get
guy
close.
sort of syndrome.
Yeah.
If you was purposely doing that, that's like no.
Oh yeah. Well, if it's intentionally like going in a friend zone, like in a sly way, then that's like no.
And I think women are dumb. Like they know what you're doing, and that's why sadly some women just take advantage of that. But I respect some women, like they don't. They just tell them up front.
Most don't. Like most girls just string the girl on.
Yeah, because sadly I feel like majority of women are more insecure than men are.
Yeah.
And a lot of the roots of the problem is to do with insecurity.
You reckon? I mean, I don't know, like, that's quite a broad statement, man. Like,
well, it's a good job we got a woman, right?
yeah.
Get that from your perspective.
To talk about, like, I don't know, like, that's why would more women be insecure than men?
Because they've been sold this ideology from such a young age that you need to wear a corset, you need to be feminine, you need to wear makeup, you need to look like this and all that kind of stuff in order to be happy when it's wrong. Like you got to look within to like.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of things encouraging it, like face tone and filters and all this kind of stuff.
I get that. There is quite a standard of beauty or whatever you're supposed to be as a woman, but that I think that's changing, you know. I think with every day that passes, like, I think what it means to be a woman is different now than it was 50 years ago, or different now than it was 20 years ago. Like,
what's the difference?
Completely, to be honest. If you're going back sort of 20 years, and even more so like 50 years.
like with, I don't know, like.
What is that in terms of like gender roles?
Well, yeah, gender roles, and then like about expectations of women and beauty, and like the industries are changing, and like things are. I know I mentioned earlier about that song I wrote about that body shaming incident that happened, but I feel like it's getting less and less, and there's more people speaking out about things, and I feel like, well, I get what you're saying, like traditional media outlets and whatever, and like the stereotype of that is a woman, you must be feminine and you must be this and whatever, is becoming outdated, and gladly so, because it's a damaging stereotype.
Well, of course it is. They're asking for time. But to me, it just feels like, you know, it is generalising it quite a bit. The more like insecure species is going to be putting stuff on themselves to manipulate their appearance, to make them look better. And really, they should be owning like their natural beauty. Because I think their natural beauty is the one. I love like just if they're gonna have makeup, yeah, just bare minimum, just like a little bit of makeup. But not gonna like cake it all on and put filters on top of it as well as face tuning and all that kind of stuff. It's kind of like,
yeah, some people take it too far, to be fair.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I feel like it's natural for girls to be like that.
Who do you think is to blame?
I blame women.
woman hater.
Thank you, and goodbye.
Dude.
That's difficult, man, because it's not as simple as, oh yeah, it's men who are to blame and it's women who are to blame. It's like we all play a part in it. Like as cultures evolved, I don't know, like it's negotiation, isn't it? We've all agreed to like some of these rules.
I think it's a natural occurrence of history and time, and consumerism, capitalism, the culture of the consume, buy, to like look at a certain way and all that. So I don't know, I don't think there's no like big guy elite with a twirly moustache like thinking, yeah, this will get them separated and this will like do this, and I don't think that's the case. I just feel like it's just how things are.
Do you not think like that there is like elite to it? Like, I mean, even if you look at things like fashion trends and like celebrities, especially with like social media, you know, there's lots of bad things that are wrong about that. But I mean, like even with them sort of setting trends, that do you not think that sort of sets the, you know, the demographic?
Yeah, definitely. But I believe then people are conscious enough to understand the demographic and use it as a part of their game and stuff. It's easier to join them than be against them, I guess. I don't know, man.
But yeah, that's true though. Like technology and social media, they've definitely had an effect on what a woman is. Because again, like most kids, most young girls will be looking at, I don't know, like Cardi B or these celebrities and being like, okay, like
what's her name?
Kardashians, like a BBL. That's what makes a woman. Like to get all that, all the makeup, all the. Like it's definitely a huge influence on.
Which is why Billie Eilish is great.
Sorry?
Which is why Billie Eilish is great.
Yes.
She just rocks up in a tracksuit onto like Glastonbury and has got green hair and
She's just being herself then.
Yeah.
But is that something that you would like look for in a girl?
What?
Is like makeup
No.
and like looks and that? Or...
At first, well, initially it's gonna be a physical thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Initially, yeah, but I do have like a criteria of things that I'm looking for, I guess, that are non-physical. So personality-wise and whatever she does, and just stuff like that.
FYI,
So it's not.
I just feel like I need to add to that because me saying Billie Eilish rocking up in the tracksuit with green hair and whatever is great. If you want to look like Cardi B or whatever, or you want to be full face of makeup, you want to do whatever you want to do, like you want to present in that way, you do you, honey bee, there ain't no harm in doing whatever you want to do. But the fact is you have the choice. There you go, that's what I wanted to finish. Continue, sorry.
Oh, I just lost my intro. Oh, actually. What do you look for then?
What do I look for?
Yeah.
Well, it's the same as you really. I mean, I guess it's obviously looks like at first, but then like it's all about sort of like personality and how they act. And I mean, like interest and effort for me goes like a long way. So like, I mean, even if you look at it like in this day and age with like text messages and like, you know, if it's of the same level, then it's like, you know, it's going good, the chemistry's great. But if it's just sort of, you know, like basic and it's just not flowing, then it's just, no, the effort's just not there.
Or like you double texting and her sending one word answer.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like I've had cases where it's been like just one word back, and it's just like, well,
Bruh.
can't be doing it.
You see, like, I don't mind that in the beginning. Like, in the beginning, I feel like it should be the guy putting like 60-70% of the effort, and then you leaving that 30% for her to invest in the interaction. But if it's like that on like a constant basis, then you kind of have to like, I feel like you cut your losses.
Why is there such like a strict gender role with that?
Like, why does the guy have to?
Why is it
I don't know.
for a dude?
You tell me, because girls act disinterested at first.
I suppose it's whoever interacts first. Like if you know, it'd be the same as messaging someone, the same as walking up to someone on the street. You know, if you want to talk to them, you talk to them for a reason, and the recipient of that end is obviously playing a recipient role. But that's as far as sort of first conversations go. But then obviously you got to chase it then after that, and then go just go from there. But predominantly, you know, if I talk to you, I talk to you for a reason. I'm going to be the main person who's talking. And you're obviously the recipient on recipient role.
Yeah.
So it's more initiation versus like recipient rather than male versus female.
But I see the gender roles run about also in like, the traditional sense, how the man's supposed to be making the moves and all that kind of stuff. Also, I feel like that's changing as well. Some men can't take that because if a woman messages him first, some men are out here like, oh, she's too masculine.
Really?
Just because she's messaged him first, and I don't know about that, but I don't know. That says more about you. That does.
I don't know what it is. I think maybe guys just don't believe girls would be brave enough to do that, to approach the guy first.
Yeah,
maybe
I
that
hear that
makes
in the
them
1940s. You know what I mean? Definitely in the 1940s. 1940s, I'd be thinking, alright, this is a heist.
Yeah.
Some guy about to come out, like, I'm thinking cowboy times now or something. About to get mugged, but these days, like, it's not that.
I mean, there's Bumble. But, listen, even on Bumble, like, girls, okay, so the way Bumble works is, like, the girl messages first, isn't it?
But she has to message. Yeah, she has to message. You can't message her.
Yeah, she messages you
It's
first.
just a shame because I want to connect with everyone. On Bubble Biz.
Yeah.
I want to let's come on the podcast, but majority of the time, like,
Oh, even for the biz?
yeah,
Mm.
like,
Oh, man.
we have to-
No, it doesn't. It doesn't work for the biz. You can message whoever on the business.
What?
It's only on Bumble Day.
Right.
Nah, I swear to
Yes.
God.
Really?
Let me check.
Imagine this whole time you just be waiting.
Bro, that would suck.
Yes, so I've got. There's a Bumble business match.
Yeah.
A female.
You messaged first.
And oh no, she messages first.
See,
She went first.
see, you can't message her.
Even said that
That's
she
a
went
shame.
first.
Yeah, she messaged me first. With women, for some reason, they have to message you first in order to start connecting
Yeah.
or promote each other's work.
Interesting, even on the biz.
Even on the biz, isn't it? But that's what I was saying. Like, I think even then, even when women have to initiate the conversation first, they still. I feel this a lot. Like they still put the burden of carrying on the conversation onto you. So they want you to lead the conversation, the whole conversation. That's why I feel like that's the pressure women put on men. I don't know if you've experienced that.
We're gonna have to hold that thought.
What?
Yeah, it's the end of this podcast. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in 2 days. Link in the description for everyone here.
Thank you, Sam. Holly.
Comment, like, subscribe.